Alright everyone, welcome back. Sakura is perfectly composed. It's probably partly because she just got over a cold, but she's not merely putting on a strong face. This seems like the real Sakura to me.
それで少し子供の頃を思い出しちゃいました。私、子供の頃は家にこもってばかりで言いたいことも言えなかった。私が本当の気持ちを言わなければみんなうまくいくって思い込んでずっと黙ってたんです。けどそれじゃダメですよね。私は心配かけたくなくて黙っていたけど、それがもっとお父さんや兄さんを心配させてたんです。
そっか。けどさくらが親父さんや信者を大切に思ってたのは本当なんだから、さくらの気持ちだってちゃんと伝わってたんじゃないか。口にしなくても伝わることってあるだろ。
そうですね。そうだといいです。それで先輩はどうだったんですか？私、先輩が子供の頃の話あんまり聞いたことないんです。
俺？別に今と変わらないんじゃないかな。昼間は街中走り回って親父の飯を作って、夜はここでガラクタいじってた。
I get embarrassed, so I scratch my cheek. Does it mean I'm a failure as a man if I haven't changed from when I was a kid?
街中を走り回ってたんですか？
そのパトロールの真似事。弱きを助け強きをくじくってのに憧れてたんだ。
My battlefield was mainly in the park. I think it was an everyday thing to fight with children my age against people older than me. Now that I think about it, a smart and devil-like person was in my age group too.
なるほど。いちめっ子から街を守ってたんですね。先輩、昔からそういう人だったんだ。
さくら、笑顔で言われるとさすがに我が身を振り返っちまうからやめてくれ。割と恥ずかしい。
恥ずかしくなんかないです。私、子供の頃に先輩と会ってたらきっと子分にしてもらってました。私みたいな引っ込み思案には手を取って外に連れ出してくれる人がいないとダメなんです。
子分ってさくらな。
Oh, well, I might have trained Sakura every day if she'd been with me as a child. I would have run by the river or sat in the dojo with her. That's pretty much what a psychic would do. Under my watchful eye, Sakura would become strong, and then she would turn into a devil like her. Or her. A chill runs down my spine. Good. I'm really glad that Sakura is modest. That last minute face.
先輩、
ちょっと頭が飛んでた。独り言なんで気にしないでくれ。
それはいいんですけど、聞きにくいことを聞いてしまっていいですか？
いいけど、なんだよ。
藤村先生から聞いたんですけど、先輩、エミヤの家に引き取られた養子だって本当ですか？
あれ、言ってなかったっけ？藤姉の言う通り、親父の養子だぞ、俺。
先輩、それって
いや、別に隠し事じゃないし、その通りだし。さくらこそどうしたんだよ、そんなこと聞いて。
先輩は気にしてないんですか？知らない家にもらわれていっぱい嫌なこととかあったんじゃないんですか？
そりゃ藤姉の入れ知恵だな。まあ初めの1年はそう見えたかもしんないけど、あれはあれで辛くはなかったし、嫌なことなんてなかったと思う。
じゃあ楽しかったんですか、先輩は。
This is the first time I've been asked this question. After that fire, my first year here was spent healing my wounds. And after that, my time until now has been spent in constant motion. I studied magic to be more like Kiritsugu. And I ran around the town looking for the reason why only I survived that night. I never had time to wonder if I was enjoying myself.
どうだろう。楽しかったかどうかはわからない。ただ、俺は親父みたいになりたかった。
それは藤村先生が言っていたような正義の味方にですか？
Sakura asks timidly. To that,
おかしいかな。
I answer while scratching my cheek.
いいえ、先輩は間違ってません。まっすぐでかっこいいです。
Her words are calm. I usually get embarrassed from such words, but her words hit me so much that I'm tempted to thank her.
じゃあもう一つ聞きますね、先輩。もし私が悪い人になったら許せませんか？
Oh, that's foreshadowing right there.
え？
Why would you bring that up out of nowhere? My head blanks out from the sudden question. But to answer seriously,
ああ、さくらが悪いことをしたら怒る。きっと他のやつより何倍も怒ると思う。
I'd probably be first in line to scold her.
よかった。先輩にならいいです。
Sakura nods in relief. Seeing her smile makes me think that something like this happened before.
部屋に戻りますね。おやすみなさい、先輩。
Sakura leaves. As I see her off, I try to remember where I've seen that smile before, but my memory fails me. I return to my room. I lie on my futon trying not to wake Saber, and right when I'm about to close my eyes,
思い出した。
in a sudden flash of insight, it comes back to me. Yes, it was in the shed just like tonight. It was 2 years ago. No, 1.5 years to be exact. It happened during the summer 2 years ago. I continued to refuse every time Sakura offered to come help me at my house. But Sakura did not give up and kept visiting my house with obstinacy you would never expect from her. I gave up. Well, Sakura's effort beat me to be exact, but I called Sakura to the shed and admitted my defeat.
さくらには負けた。負けたからこれやる。
It was an old key. I gave Sakura the key to my house that I kept in the shed which Kiritsugu used to use. Surprised, Sakura tried to refuse. She said something ridiculous about how a stranger couldn't possibly accept such a gift.
あのな、毎日手伝いに来るくせに他人も何もあるか。これからは好きにうちを使ってくれ。その方が俺も助かる。
I forced the key into her hands, and that's when I saw it.
はい、ありがとうございます、先輩。大切な人から物をもらったのはこれで2度目です。
Sakura smiled happily as she nodded.
ああ、そうか。
That's what's been bugging me. Sakura works hard and always has a warm smile. But that was the last time her smile looked satisfied. The Ryodo Temple. The land is desolate after Castor has disappeared. The monks who have collapsed from an unknown cause have left the mountain to leave the temple empty. The gate is shut firmly, so neither worshippers nor monks can enter the place.
つひどい匂いだ。鼻が曲がるどころの話じゃねえな。
A voice echoes through the I was gonna say the palace, the place that should be desolate. A lean blue figure glows in the moonlight. The sturdily built man with the crimson spear is a servant called Lancer.
おうおう、キャスターがくたばったってのに結界は健在か。いや、醜悪さは以前より5割増し。これに比べればキャスターは上品だったな。
Lancer looks around the temple. The red lance is in his hand. His objectives are to gain information and keep watch. He is unwilling, but he cannot disobey his master's command. It is his policy to follow any command given to him and to accomplish the mission. That is why he has fought several servants and ended up in a draw with each. As long as he serves the master, Lancer will never start a fight. This is no exception, and he is to investigate the Ryodo temple. If that is the case, why is his lance in his hand? His weapon, his noble phantasm, can be summoned whenever needed. There is no need for him to hold his lance where there was no enemy before him.
キーキーうるせえこと。キャスターは風使いと呼んでたんだが、水気の女だったのかね。雲だのカエルだの陰湿な輩が多いが。
He walks through the temple. He seems too vulnerable and defenseless to be a servant. He is so defenseless that if there is another servant here, he would be attacked and killed in an instant.
ああ、頭をすげ替えられたって線もあるな。ここは腐った小虫しかいない。持ち主不在の廃屋に救うのはお前たちの常套手段だ。
Lancer doesn't stop cursing. The blue spearman gives a speech as if to persuade a person who is not here.
にしても一匹でかいのがいるな。どこの生まれか知らないが、山奥で獣と暮らしていた面してやがる。おまけになんだこりゃ、砂の匂いか。へっ、大雲かと思えば小汚い砂虫とはな。やだやだ。なんだってこんなしけた野郎の偵察なんかしなきゃならねえのかなった。
The silver lights are deflected. 3 rays of light streak forth from the darkness, only to be struck down by Lancer's lance. The deflected lights are daggers called dirks. They are not a weapon to be held onto and slashed with, but a weapon to be thrown. These daggers were thrown with great speed at Lancer's eyes and throat.
いい腕だ。が、二度とはするなよ、砂虫。挨拶もなしで命を取られるのは趣味じゃねえし、何よりお前にとっちゃ命取りだ。
Lancer is such a badass man. The blue figure stands firm from before the darkness. In the darkness in front of Lancer is a laughing skull, white as the moon. The battle starts without a signal. Lacking human words, the white skull attacks Lancer with an inhuman shriek. And Lancer meets his assault without switching a brow. The skull tosses daggers with a precision rivaling that of Archer. 30 are thrown from the close range as he runs through the darkness, but Lancer easily repels every one. The skull comes to an abrupt stop. It is abnormal. No matter how good a spearman Lancer may be, he could not possibly block all the daggers. Furthermore, he is using a long lance. How are the daggers fired accurately in between his swings all deflected?
おい、まさかとは思うが、お前の芸はそれだけか。
Lancer's presence changes. He stops and his hostility changes to a clear intent to kill.
ならこれでしまいだ。お前が何者か知らんが、まあ、その仮面ぐらいは剥がすとするか。
Daggers flash through the darkness. A rapid barrage is unleashed as a counter to Lancer's charge. But he blocks even that. Although the daggers cannot be perceived, he turns them aside with a slight swing of his spear. He sounds annoyed. The skull is the one shivering. Unable to speak human language, he can only swallow his scream and watch as the enemy comes to take his life. He throws a dagger at the small opening in between Lancer's strikes. The skull's mask trembles. Lancer blocks the dagger, turns the spear in a full circle, and smacks his opponent's chin from below. Defense and counter. He performs both actions in one motion. Already committed to his attack, the skull cannot respond to such a maneuver. The white mask falls from his face. Lancer does not keep attacking. His order is merely to observe his foes. Even if this is a sure chance to kill, he has no authority to attack.
バカが言っただろう。俺に飛び道具はうまくないと。忠告を聞かなかったのはそっちの方だぜ。
Lancer readies his lance again and regards his enemy, who is now hiding his face. A black body. A right hand covered in bandages. A face still hidden by the darkness. No, his face is flat and utterly featureless.
私の面を見たな、ランサー。
If I didn't know any better, that almost sounded like Zoken.
そりゃこれからだ。サーバントには違いないようだしな。どこの英雄かはっきりさせるとするか。
なるほど。余分な縛りがあったのか。道理で殺さないわけだ。
The servant retreats further into the shadows. He still has the dirk in his hand, and his hostility is still emitting.
やめとけ。生まれつきでな。目に見えている相手からの飛び道具なんざ通じねえんだよ。よっぽどのものじゃない限り、その距離からの投擲は効かねえぞ。
そうか。流れ屋の加護か。さすがは夏希の英霊。私などとは物が違う。
The shadow wavers. The black servant sinks down to the ground. Then springs up in an instant as he throws another dagger. If his leap is that of a deer, his movement are those of a spider, snake, or scorpion. Even while keeping his face hidden, this servant is as fast as Lancer when it comes to retreat. But Lancer's charge is still the fastest. It is a disgrace to take even a minute to corner his enemy.
確かに喉を狙ったんだが、しぶといな。治ってるってわけじゃねえし、あれぶっ飛んでやがるな。
The enemy glides across the water like a spider, and Lancer pursues him. In contrast, water sprays from his footsteps, but his speed is far greater.
痛みで止まらねえんなら、付け根でも切りつければよかったが。他の連中には通じねえ手だからな。つい後回しにしちまったが。
It is fatal for a human body to be cut at a joint where the main arteries lie. If the arteries are severed, death from severe bleeding will quickly follow. But that is only in normal combat. You cannot expect a servant, a heroic spirit, to die from excessive bleeding. As their life force is magical energy, cutting their arteries does not have any effect. The loss of a limb is another story, but cutting off a servant's limb is a difficult task. Doing so will likely cost you your own head in the process.
なるほど。だが通覚を殺す手に頼るような英霊に治癒能力などあるまい。次の打ち込みで蹴りをつけるか。
Water splashes with lightning speed. His next attack will strike in 2 more seconds. He tenses, then thrusts at his fleeing enemy's left leg. With a start, Lancer jumps back from the water's surface. Water explodes upward. No, something beneath the water is snarling. Black tendrils snake out of the water, reaching out for the spearman. Is it because this creature dwells underwater? It seems to resemble a deep-sea monster from ancient times.
これは。
Lancer has nowhere to run. He instantly covers all his runes on the bottom of the lake to create a boundary field, but it's easily penetrated. The dark tentacles are closing in on all sides, and his territory is shrinking by the second. The protection using all his runes, which can even block a great noble phantasm, does not even slow down the penetration. Watching Lancer.
どうしたランサー。動かねば飲まれるぞ。
Assassin sneers. But even the sneering spider is no exception. It seems these tendrils must engulf anything they can reach, as the spider does not approach the dark water. He knows that if he draws near, they will take interest in new prey.
だがそうはいかん。お前を仕留めるのは私だ。未だ経験が足りないのでな。お前を打倒し、足りない知能を補わねば。
The spider's dagger glimmers. The weapon about to be released is just a projectile. But is it not meaningless? Even though Lancer is surrounded by ghastly limbs, projectiles are meaningless against Lancer.
懲りないやつだ。まあ、強気になるのはわかるんだが。
Lancer observes the ghastly limbs around him. He was lured quite far in, but it's only about 30 meters to the opposite shore. He should be able to easily jump across such a distance.
そこで動かなかったお前の負けだ。様子見も済んだ。ここらで引き上げさせてもらおうか。
Lancer crouches low and braces his lance against the ground. Using his lance as support, Lancer vaults into the air. There. He is struck by the simplest of attacks. A fake heart is taken out of Lancer's chest. Assassin has directly gouged out Lancer's heart from the distant shore, an impossible range. If it is the pure magic, the simplest curse. It's just that cursed hand, a magic of the Middle East specialized in cursing people. It's an assassin's noble phantasm, Zabinia. It surely destroys Lancer's heart, and the powerless body of the spearman falls into the black water. Wow. The surface boils. It is hectic, ferocious, and vulgar. You would not see such a gruesome meal even if meat were thrown into a cage of starving beasts. Numerous black limbs eliminate the human-shaped heroic spirit. The faceless servant standing in the black water swallows the heart of his prey with satisfaction. That sucks for Lancer. Dialogue lost loop. When I wake up, my body is fully recovered. My temperature is normal and my limbs don't feel heavy at all.
6時前か。さくら、起きてるかな。
If she is, she'll probably be preparing breakfast. I better get ready quickly and head to the kitchen, or Sakura will finish it herself.
サイバー、先に行ってるぞ。しばらくしたら今に来てくれ。
I don't have the guts to look inside her room, so I retreat after calling out to her. It'll be troublesome if I see Saber sleeping.
それでね、おじいちゃん倒れちゃってさ。わしが寝込んどるんだから少しは落ち着こうと思わんのかドラ娘なんて言うのよ。失礼しちゃうわよね。それじゃあ私がはぐれ雲みたいに聞こえるじゃない。
Fujine complains while eating. It seems Fujine didn't come over last night because her grandfather collapsed.
先輩、はぐれ雲って何ですか？
藤姉のこと。ふわふわ浮いてて正体がつかめないやつを指す。
I answer without hesitation.
違う。はぐれ雲は遊び人。日がない一日何をするでもなく町の人たちを冷やかして面白おかしく暮らす人のことを言うのよ。
Sakura and Saber nod in comprehension. I do not even need to mention which part they agree on.
けど先生、それじゃあお父さんの体、芳しくないんですか？
まさか うちの家系は風邪とかひかないって有名なんだから。おじいちゃんはね、年がいもなく若い子と相撲して腰やっちゃったの。
相撲とは何ですか、タイガ？
ちょっと言葉で説明するのは難しいな。とにかく押す、引かば押す、押せば押すっていう格闘技よ。武器なしなんだけど、げんこつはダメ、蹴るのもダメ。基本的に相手の体とがっしり組み合ってドリャーって地面に叩き伏せれば勝ちなんだ。
それは純粋な力比べということでしょうか？
そうね。あと服もなし、自分も相手もほとんど裸でぶつかり合うんだよ。
裸でですか？
回しをつけてるから急所は隠してるけど、回しっていうのはふんどしのことね。わからなかったらシローに聞いてみて、私より詳しいから。
Fujine says something absurd as she sips on her miso soup.
なるほど。で、シロ、ふんどしとは何ですか？
It's easy to explain, but I'm a bit hesitant to talk about it. I'm talking to Saber and we're eating right now. Why do I have to talk about lone claws during a meal?
知らない。相撲は専門外だから他を当たってくれ。
嘘だー、シロー回し持ってるくせに。
持ってるかそんなもん。相撲は藤姉のじいさんにやらされただけで、回しだって借り物だっただろう。大体な、何年前の話してんだよ藤姉は。
そっか、そうだ。シロー子供の頃はちっちゃかったから相撲は負け続きだったんだもんね。おじい様が違う競技にしなさいって言って勝つまでやめたがらないシローに弓持たせたんだっけ。
Fujine is laughing cheerfully. Man, Fujine is in high spirits this morning, so she's louder than usual.
ああ藤姉、時間そろそろやばいぞ。7時前にはここを出ないと遅刻じゃないのか。
今日は大丈夫。昨日から朝の部活は禁止されたから。それでも今日は職員会議があるから早めに出ないとまずいんだけど。
先生、弓道部も朝練中止なんですか？
そうだよ。ってそっか、さくらちゃんには連絡行ってなかったか。昨日ちょっとした事故があってね。陸上部の子なんだけど部活中に怪我しちゃって、保健の笠間先生に言わせれば寝不足だとかで朝練はしばらく中止になったのよ。
けど怪我人が一人出ただけで中止にするもんなのか？それも寝不足だって、そんなの本人の。
It's their own fault unless...
藤姉、その怪我人って何人出たんだ
？10人以上20人未満かな。
そんなになんですか？先生、弓道部のみんなは。
それがね、うちには出てないけど昨日の部活でも疲れた顔の子が何人かいたのよ。ほら最近いろいろと物騒じゃない？そのあたりの精神的な疲れも無視できないから、できるだけ生徒には負担をかけない方針でいくみたい。部活が負担になるってわけじゃないけど、肉体的に疲労するのは否定できないしね。
Fujine shrugs and holds out her bowl.
さくらちゃん、おかわり。ご飯半分でお願いね。
はい、どうぞ。今朝は小食ですね、先生。
そうなのよ。学校行っても仕事が溜まってるのかと思うと胃が痛くて痛くて食欲がないんだよ。
Fujine pretends to cry. It seems the tiger at my house wants us to believe that 2.5 bowls of rice is in her normal serving.
そういうさくらちゃんは元気だよね。ご飯大盛りで2杯目だもん。
育ち盛りですから、最近はすぐお腹減っちゃうし、多少無理でも食べておかないと大変です。